Alright, what's going on, you guys? Sam from Zradar MMA Bet. In this video, we'll be doing a wrap-up of all the picks and the bets for UFC on ESPN 31. Font versus Aldo. I'll also cover the prop bets that I'll take and make some comments on after the weightings. Alright, and let's just real quick review the lock of the night and top 2 parlay discussion. If you're seeing this from Patreon, thank you very much for your support, guys. You guys make this possible. If you're seeing this from YouTube and you'd like to support the channel, you'd like to hear how this can benefit you, stick until the end, I'll tell you how, alright? So, between Dushko, Todorovic and Maki Pitolo, I'm picking Dushko but not betting. Jimmy Crute versus Jamal Hill, picking Crute not betting. Brian Barberina versus Matt Brown, this has been cancelled and I didn't take from here. Chris Kritzmacher versus Claudio Puelles, I'm picking Puelles and not betting. Leo Santos versus Clay Guida, picking betting Santos. Cheyenne Vlismas versus Mallory Martin, picking betting Vlismas, my biggest bet of the card. Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis, picking Allen but not betting. Luis Moka versus Vince Morales, picking Smoka not betting. Brad Riddell versus Rafael Fiziev, I'm picking Fiziev and not betting. Alex Morono versus Mickey Gall, picking Morono but betting Gall, small bet. Jake Matthews versus Jeremiah Wells, I'm picking Matthews and not betting. Rob Font versus Jose Aldo, I'm picking Font but not betting. Brian Barberina versus Darren Weeks, picking and betting Barberina. Manuel Cap versus Jalga Jumagulov, I'm picking Cap but not betting. Alonso Manifield versus William Knight, picking Manifield but not betting. Alright, so I'm saying I'm not betting them straight or parlaying them, but I do have some prop bets in some of these fights. Alright. So real quick onto the lock of the night and top 2 discussions. I had this laid out here, guys. I made some small changes from the previous video, because Felipe Lins that was here, he got out of the bout. Then between Jared Vandera and Murzakanov, I had Murzakanov as a good pick, but also the fight has been cancelled. So, looking at this point, I still like Cheyenne. I don't know. I see most of the people, back and forth there. There's some people that they're picking Mallory Martin. I understand because Cheyenne, she's fairly inexperienced, so is Martin, and there's that fight that Cheyenne got not dominated, right, but couldn't escape from had an arm. Still, I think that my experience tells me that Cheyenne, she's gonna bring it. I think she's gonna stuff those takedowns and gonna knock out Mallory. So I think the prop bets here make sense. I'm gonna show you guys soon. So I think we would still stick with this. I know I have Rafael Fiziev here and I didn't put there on the betting, but I think he should win this fight, but this is quite tricky. So you could escape this one, maybe go from out of 100, right? 34 on the props, I think Mick Gall has a small chance. I like him at plus the 200 dog. Like I told you guys, Santos, and actually we have Barberina also, right? So Barberina also makes sense in these discussions, right? So as we are speaking, I'm thinking about this. So this would be cover over 100, but let's put it at least. I would put Barberina as the same amount of the props. Because Barberina is also a decent pick in my opinion. I think he should win this fight. He's not as strong, at least in my eyes, as Cheyenne. Nonetheless, it's pretty good, and I would pick him over Rafael Fiziev. Okay, so let's stick with this. I know that's not summing up to 100, but just so you guys see more or less the idea here. Okay, so let's go with the props. So these are the props that I have to you guys. So here I'm showing the props that I took for this card. I'm not going so much on props because I was tempted to parlay more, fight goes the distance, but I think this could be potentially one of those cards that you do a round robin there and then you get half of them and end up not making any profit. So I'll stick with this that I think are the best. First of all, Cap and Jalga's going the distance. I think this goes the distance, minus 170. I think some bookies are minus 180, minus 190. I still think there's some value there, so this makes sense. Sorry guys. Cheyenne by TKO, this is my pick. I think she's gonna knock out Mallory Martin. Actually, I got this at plus 400, so I like this one, guys. I would to me this is the best prop, and the second best prop is Jumagulov by decision. I know that I'm picking Cap, but could be one of those fights that you cannot tell too much who's winning the rounds and gonna be a split decision either way. People are gonna call it a robbery, blah blah blah. But at the end, to get a guy that gonna make it a close fight, against Cap that it's not the most. He's a good fighter, you know, but I think he didn't show up his full potential yet, and I don't think he's gonna do in this fight. So one close fight, you know, could go either way. You know, depends on the judges' moods. I think Zhumagulov has a decent chance to win this, you know, because he also they are practically the same fighters in terms of skill. Zhumagulov it's a little bit more traditional. Cap wants a little bit more fancy movements, etc. But at the end of the day, I think they are equally effective, you know. So definitely Zhumagulov by decision there, especially where the lines are at. Okay, so this to me is also makes sense. And I put another one here that for the future card. I'm not gonna comment now, but I think you guys can see that. I think there's value in this line here. All right, so these only 3 props. Let's see. There's a chance that none of them cash, but I expect that at least the first 2 cash. I also like Zhumagulov by decision. To me, it's nearly 50-50 between him and Cap, so this has a decent chance to cash, and this would be a nice profit, right? So guys, this will do for the video. It's a short video just to wrap things up. So why you should support me on Patreon. Let me take the page here where this is the public page here. So why you should support me on Patreon? So I basically have 2 tier, $10 tiers. The one that I cover the lock of the night top 2 parlay discussion, the prop bets, and I'm able to release early. So with $10 you get this. If you're willing to support to the next level, give it the $50 tier a try. I have all the bets that I'm taking line by line, such as this one, but not only the props. I'm also, let me just do one thing here. Let me hide here in respect to my patrons and show you guys how this would look like. If you would support me on the $50 tier, you'd see all the bets that I took, you know, line by line with the amount, right? I'm hiding the amount because the amount that defines the winning strategy. So with all the props that I took, you know, it's more like a, you know, ledger type of thing. You know, you can also check out how did I do in the previous months. You know, for this month obviously just started, so I just had those that I took, but had to bail because it has been cancelled. And also access to this spreadsheet. You guys can see, you know, up front what is my strategy, what I'm doing, you know, see the lock of the night and everything. So this is what the $50 tier look like. Obviously, you guys, being my patrons, have access to chatting. You know, can chat with me, ask your questions, ask your my opinion on something. I'm very happy to help you guys, right? So this will do for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll talk to you next time. This time from Brother Bet, bring the best, most consistent, and transparent betting strategy for you.